Welcome back to Part of the People. I'm Esteban. How's it going, everybody? This morning I woke up to an email from the courthouse, and it was Judge Valdez's order from the unlawful March 7th, 2025 hearing, and the order states that he's dismissing all my motions for lack of jurisdiction. That's incorrect. That's incorrect, and his entire order is fictitious, as he had no authority to hold that hearing, and so the hearing is unlawful, and he was acting in a private capacity, as he had no legal authority to hold a hearing. Um, Guys, this is what they do. They stonewall you. They put roadblocks on your path, on your journey, and and if anyone is strong enough to get through, this is where it ends. This is where uh, this is where one gives up, because what else can you do? If you take it past this point and file administrative complaints, the administrative oversight committees don't do anything. And for those of you that have tried, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. The state bar is notorious for not really doing anything against complaints against attorneys, and the SCJC, while they're the worst, they have gone as far as taking off the online complaint forum, and so you can't complain online anymore. You have to do uh, an actual mail-in complaint. So they're pretty bad. All the administrative agencies are really bad when it comes to complaints. And so here you are. You come. By the way, on in addition to that, the judge also ordered the court's clerk not to take any more of my file. Well, not to take any more filings for the case. Not necessarily to take any more of my filings, although I'm pretty sure that's the expectation. But and yeah, this is where the road ends for most people. I'm This is not the end for me. As a matter of fact, I always knew this was coming. It was always part of the plan, and that's why I prepared myself early on. This was never meant to end here. It was never meant to end in the county courthouse. This is going up higher than that. And so, from the very beginning of my case, which, by the way, was dismissed back in October of last year, 2024. And so, if I wanted to walk away back then, I could have easily done it. I would have walked away free with absolutely no charges on me, and I would have been fine. But that's not what this is about. This is about the corruption that's happening in the courts. I see it all the time. I hear about it all the time. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I've gotten a lot of responses from you guys on social media saying the same thing, that it's all over the place. We all see it. We all know it's there. And the thing is that, who's going to do something about it? Or what can we do about it? And well, I created a plan from the very beginning. And the plan is basically just to get them to uh, leave a trail, an undeniable trail of evidence of corruption. And that's exactly what they've done. Everything that's happened in my case, I've turned around and created a motion out of it, or a notice out of it, and I've put it right back into the case file. And so everything is public information. Anyone can go to my case and start digging through those case files and uncover everything that they've done. I've put it on notices, all on motions, and they have fought really hard to. Honestly, I think they believe that this is the end of the road. That they've put this roadblock on me, and that's it. He's not going to bother us anymore. No, they're incorrect, and they have they have a surprise coming, because now I have enough to take this above the administrative agencies. Even um, in the state agencies, the Texas Rangers, I have complained to Texas Rangers before, and they just refer you back to the SCJC. Well, the SCJC doesn't do anything. And so even the Texas Rangers kind of like to drag their feet with a lot of this stuff when it comes to judges. They don't like to get involved. Um, but I have enough in this in all of this case to take it up to the federal level too. And I think the federal level is gonna the federal agencies, the DOJ, the FBI are gonna be very interested in what's going on here. Um, Even the state auditors, they're going to be very, very intrigued with what's going on, guys. I have 22 people implicated in my case, and I'll name them here in a bit. I have 22 people implicated in my case, and through all this that I've done, through all the digging, all the researching that I've done, I have uncovered things that go beyond my case. And so I've actually found financial fraud, and I have followed the money trail. Like everybody always says, follow the money trail, you'll find out where it originates. Well, I'm finding out. I know exactly how deep this goes because I have followed that money trail. And so I have uncovered financial fraud where every single judge in Cameron County is implicit in facilitating this financial fraud. Your court-appointed attorneys, my God, they're all so deep in this. Like, these are your court-appointed attorneys. They're putting your cases to help you, and then you wonder why you were unhappy with the result of your case. It's because they were never meant to, work for you. They were meant to work for the system, and so they're getting bought off by your own tax money. This is money that comes from the state. These are state funds. These are yeah, these are state funds. They're coming down from your taxpayer money. Excuse me. And they're getting bought off with your taxpayer money. So a lot of times you're paying these attorneys out of pocket, and they're still taking your tax money. That's how deep this financial fraud goes. All judges are implicated on this. I have found every single judge signing off on all this these payments to your attorneys. The pre-trial services, don't trust them, guys. I'm and this was brought up to me today by a conversation with the county clerk, well, the manager from the county clerk, and she throws it at me. Are you giving me legal advice? Are you unlawfully giving legal advice? Guys, this is not legal advice. This is just advice, period. Think about what you're doing and think about who you're trusting your life with. These attorneys, they're not on our side. In my case, it's 100% provable. It's all on the record. There's ex parte communication. There was a coordination between the judge and the defense attorneys that happened prior to the hearing. There's ex parte communication. There's coordination between the prosecutor and the judge. And right now, I have three officials. I have the judge, the prosecutor, and my own defense attorney, all putting in responses against me. They're all working against me together. They're all giving the same responses. They're all giving the same arguments, and they're flawed. They're flawed arguments. They're misinterpreting law. But they're all giving the same argument. How does that happen? Did they all go to the same class, the same school? They learn from the same teacher, the same professor? They all they were all, excuse me, They were all given the wrong information. That just doesn't happen naturally. They're coordinating, they're working together, and they're working together against you. My case was a Class B misdemeanor. It's a simple Class B misdemeanor. How many of you guys, I've, you know, some of you guys have commented on my post that, some of you guys have lost family members, to murderers, and these murderers are, you know, they're being set free. They're being sent back out into the worldwide because they got pulled, they got bought off. I don't know, part of the corruption. It's sad. It's sad, and it's very upsetting, and that's exactly why I'm doing this, because I could have walked away back in October. I could have walked away months ago, but I decided to stick it through and show everybody exactly what's going on here and exactly how we could go back and make things right. And so what's going to happen is I've already sent off complaints to the administrative agencies. They're being notified that oversight is being also requested from state agencies and federal agencies, and that and all the information has been given out to all agencies, and so everybody's aware that there's other agencies looking over their shoulders, and that there's people looking over their shoulders. And that's exactly why I'm bringing it out here to the public, is because we need to stand together. This is the time we stand together, and this is the time we make something happen, a change, a big change, because this can't continue this way. If they're doing things to to people that come to them with a minimal charge on them, what are they doing to other people that are getting charged with bigger crimes? How many of those people are actually innocent? And what are we going to do about it? And so I promise you guys names. I'll give you names. Attorneys Sergio Galvan, Ernest Hernandez. Those are two attorneys that were forced onto my case. There was an investigator, Reynaldo Pineda, who unlawfully signed a complaint against me. He wasn't even the actual complainant. I don't know why his name's on the complaint. That was overseen by ADA Caitlin Lara. She's the one that apparently initiated this charge. That was passed on to ADA Jacqueline Ruiz, who I motioned to sanction for ex parte communication. By the way, we had 3 hearings, and she's noted to be the ADA throughout that time. I never once saw her at a hearing. I don't remember her. She was never pulled up to the podium by the judge. She never introduced herself. She was never introduced. She never spoke a single word on the record, and I have the copy of the transcripts to prove it. The last hearing that she was in, supposedly, was actually a trial hearing, and she wasn't there. And so, should it have gone past that point? Probably not. That's Jacqueline Ruiz. And then it was passed on from there. She was taken out of the case because of the ex parte communication. And it was passed on to ADA Edward Sandoval, who has seen it all the way through. And there's actually a lot more going on with Edward Sandoval. And towards the end here, there was some fraudulent paperwork being submitted to the court that he's going to be implicit for. Let's see, judges started off with McDonald. He recused himself for no reason. In reality, because he couldn't get us, he went through 3 different hearings trying to push us into getting an attorney, and the last one was actually a scheduled trial date, and he still couldn't get us to get an attorney. And so I think the scheduling of the trial date was just BS. It was never meant to happen, and they were just trying to pressure us into getting an attorney. And so the last day, the last trial date, he decided to recuse himself for no reason and stepped off and canceled the trial. He passed the torch on to Leonel Alejandro, Judge Leonel Alejandro. He scheduled a discovery hearing that he had no plans on getting to. He ended up canceling that discovery hearing the day of. Didn't give us any notice, and then he canceled the second trial date and recused himself for no reason. He never even made it to a single hearing, so I don't even know what the guy looks like. and then we were assigned Judge Rogelio Valdez, who forced two attorneys on us, colluded with both the prosecutor and the attorney to violate our due process and obstruct justice. He unlawfully reinserted himself after recusal into the case to hold an unlawful hearing, and ultimately sign unlawfully an order to dismiss all my motions and to silence me, technically, because he ordered the clerk's office to stop taking any more filings. But after that, he was recused, and they assigned Judge Manuel Bañales. He never met the guy. He was supposed to hold a hearing for the motion to recuse. He never did. He just came in, signed some paperwork dismissing the motion to recuse, and that's it. That was the extent of his action here. He was recused. It was the second recusal. And then they assigned Judge Nora Longoria, Gin and Juice, I believe they call her. And the same thing. She came in. She was supposed to hold a hearing. She didn't hold a hearing. She just signed the dismissal, and that was it. I recused her. They refused to act after that, and that's when Valdez reinserted himself back into the case illegally. They're using Government Code 25.00256, tertiary of recusal. That means that after the third dismissal of a motion to recuse, that judge gets to stay. Well, he was the first judge to get recused, so that law does not apply to this situation, and he does not have legal authority to hold a hearing. And let me see who else. Oh, the clerk's office. I have what's her name? I forgot her name. The court coordinator, Patricia Lola. Court reporter, Aaron Rodriguez. Pretrial officer, Jessica Acevedo. And her director from pretrial services, whose name I put. I also forgot. Patricia, no. Well, I forgot her name, but the director of pretrial services. They're all implicit in this. The financial fraud goes beyond that. It's every single judge, every single court-appointed attorney that I've run into and that I've pulled files on. The director of pretrial services is obviously very implicit. It just so happens that she is the direct connection between TIDC and the Cameron County courts, which TIDC is they take care of the state funds that are given to attorneys. And so that's how she's connected to that. On top of that, we have the Cameron County auditor. I forget her name, but she's also a direct link from Cameron County to TIDC. And then, of course, um, Fifth Administrative Judge Missy Metairie, who's at the very top of the chain when it comes to judges here in this region. And she is actually assigned to the board of TIDC. And so that's exactly how they do it. That's how they've been able to go on years and years and years doing this fraudulent practice of passing money around, to buying off attorneys, to really to control your cases. And so that's it. That's the scoop. Like I said, complaints have already been sent off. Right now, my biggest problem is just getting the public informed, and we do need this to go out there. I appreciate all of you guys. One of my TikTok videos went semi-viral. Like, it's up to like 20,000 views right now. We need to spread the word, because that's going to put pressure in the right places for these people. These people need to understand that they don't control everything. They have controlled everything, but only because we have given them that opportunity. It's time to take that power back. It's time to take that power away from them. Again, the courts were created for you, the people, not for the judge. The judge is a public servant. He works for you, not the other way around. And all those officials, they all work for us. They're all public servants, and they're working in a public venue, in a public court. They only have this power because we give them this power. We need to take it back, and this is the time to do it. Things are going to start heating up here pretty soon. I'm not worried about my case anymore. Yeah, they put a big roadblock. Not worried. That wasn't my plan to begin with. I was only taking it as far as they were willing to fight it. Why? Because every step of the way they made a lot of mistakes, and those were mistakes that were in turn taken and put on the case record. Now it's all public. It's all public view. So that's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. I'm gonna continue making videos. I'm gonna start breaking things up little by little. And yeah, if you guys are part of that corruption, if you're a judge, an attorney, a prosecutor, I want to hear from you. Leave your comments below. Defend yourself. Make an argument. I want to hear about it. I'm sure the public does too. And if you guys are just watchers and you have a horror story, leave your comment below. I really appreciate all the comments that were left on TikTok. We're gonna push through this. There's gonna be big changes coming to Cameron County. I mean, I know the government right now is already making big changes on a lot of things when it comes to the judicial system, but sometimes we need to take the bull by its horns, like they say, and get the job done ourselves. And so that's we're definitely gonna give a big push here in Cameron County. Guarantee you there's gonna be some big changes coming. Stay tuned. Follow me on my YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Like my videos. Share them with all your friends and family here in Cameron County. This is extremely important. Everybody needs to know about this. Everybody needs to know about this. If you just like the chisme, if you've been wronged before, as a matter of fact, if you've been wronged before, if you've dealt with one of these officials, I want to hear about it. Leave a comment below. I'll see you guys later. This video is getting pretty long.